the catch was that the night before I left, I had been dragged down the stairs by my hair, wrecked my back all the way down. I'm a fit young woman and I was in bits and I just thought, I'll die if I stay here. That sounds very extreme. And I have to be very careful because they're still walking around the planet. It's hard because your brain plays tricks on you because the outside voices are saying, he's so lovely. And your inside voice is going, but I'm actually afraid. My parents never asked me another question, and that's how I got out. I just phoned them. I had a moment of bravery. I was in the house. I said, I have to get out now or I'm never getting out.
So, sometimes when you meet a person, you think, do I know her? She's dressed just as I would dress if I wasn't wearing black. Beautiful pink outfit. Were we friends in the past? This is how I felt today. Now, our paths may have crossed in the past. I'm not sure. But it was a beautiful pod. Absolutely loved getting to know more about her because I've listened to her podcast quite a few times. And she is a real go-getter and very similar to me. I think she's got a hard exterior and obviously a very soft middle. And she's been through the ringer. Trigger warning, we will be talking about suicide today because she has had quite a big loss in the last few years. But it finished on a beautiful high note. And I can't wait to see what's next for this fabulous lady. You're going to enjoy this one. It's with Lisa Lawless. Lisa, welcome to Bebel.
Thank you. So excited.
I am delighted to have you.
Yeah.
Because I've listened to your podcast.
Thank you.
And I love when I can get on another podcast host. So how does it feel being there?
Yeah, oddly, it's strange to me. It's funny because when you're driving the bus, it's a little bit different than being the passenger.
It is.
But I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's nice, isn't it, to get that balance. I like a bit of both myself. So Bebel, Lisa, is all about you today.
Okay.
So, and actually a little bit different to your pod. So I don't send questions. In fact, I don't dig too deep into my guests. I dig surface level because I always like the surprise about finding out so much more about people in this environment. But where did it all begin for you?
Well, I was born from Dublin. I was born in Dublin in the Rotunda. Where did my mother have us? I can't remember. Anyway, I was there. I'm from Dublin, born and raised in Malahide.
Yes.
I am one of 5 siblings. There's 4 of us left. I lost a brother a couple of years ago, which we'll talk about later. My parents, loving couple, got married very young. In those days, my mum was before her 21st. My dad, they were so cute. And they had the kids straight away. But we were my dad was a farmer.
Oh, lovely.
So we kind of in the 70s, I was born in 69, the 70s and 80s, we were all potless.
Yeah.
But we had a great childhood because he was a farmer, we were at the farm all the time. Great summers, just no holidays because obviously he was Catholic.
Farming?
Yeah,
absolutely. Farming. And where do you land in the siblings?
I'm the second eldest.
Oh, are you? Yeah. So am I.
Oh, that's gas.
Yeah. Okay. And
I'm all boys. Yeah. Well, myself and my brothers, my older brother's 3 years between us.
Okay.
My mum then had a couple of misses. So there's 5 years between myself and my next brother. Then she had a couple more misses. They obviously hadn't heard of contraception in those days. Well, it was actually illegal. Anyway, my next brother then, so 5 years between him and the next one. And then there's 2 years between the other two. So it was kind of bang, bang, stall.
Yes.
And then there was a little bit. So the middle son was definitely the middle child.
Oh, really?
I mean, in every way.
Hilarious.
So different to the rest of us.
Yes.
It was funny. So we were all grown up in this free environment. Now, parenting was vague at best in those days. I've talked to my friends about this. It was more like free-range children as opposed to being parented.
Yeah, go out, come back for your
See you when you're hungry. Yeah. There was no, where are you? Who are you with? Very few. I don't remember very many parameters, really.
No, not until I think, I grew up in London.
Okay.
And still my parameters were, I was on the night bus at 13, coming home at 2 o'clock from London.
I didn't do that next, I had no interest.
Yes. Yeah, you were busy. You were up at 2 or 3 milking cows. But parameters, it was different.
Different, yeah.
But we're all okay though,
we survived it, yeah. Yeah, so that was it. So it was great. But then my dad got very sick. He got tuberculosis. And it coincided with the death of his father. Anyway, long story short, death duties. They lost the farm.
Oh.
So we were thrown then into huge change in circumstances. Yes. Along with that then, at the same time, coincided with that, two of my brothers were elite athletes, so that caused some financial kind of stresses on that. Yeah. So there was a lot of focus on my older brother, and my dad was sick. My mum then had to step into the fore there. So I think I get my work ethic But from both my parents. But my dad, really my mum was a workhorse, rearing the kids, and she set up her own business, and it really inspired me. But to be honest, by the time I was an adult, I left school at 16, they kind of turfed out really early then, and there was no transition year. I wanted to get out. I was like, get out of here. So, but it's not that I had a bad childhood. We were all poor. Everybody was poor in those days.
And I think, I often have this conversation with my mum, because it's very similar, actually. The youngest sibling is 18 years younger than me. And she always said, at that time, you reared them to leave you. Mm. That was the purpose. You gave them all the tools that they needed to leave the house, not to stay in the house. Whereas this day and age is a little bit different.
It is, but I also think I wanted to go because I didn't realise, looking back now, when my mum had, I think it was my third brother, she got postnatal depression, but she wasn't diagnosed with postnatal depression. It's only now that as an adult...
She took
to the bed. Well, actually, she was just given antidepressants and said, get on with it. And I didn't realise as a teenager, let's say I was 12, 13, 14, those kind of dates, like I'd come home at lunchtime for my lunch from school and mum would ask me to stay at home to help her with the two younger ones. And at the time, I loved school.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I'll help you. I didn't realise then that my mum was battling with this and my dad was sick and they'd lost the farm. And when she'd 5 kids who probably drove her mad all the time because 4 of them were lads. Obviously, I was the perfect one.
Yes. Well, obviously.
Obviously.
That's what I'm saying, surely.
And it was just this, I felt if I wanted to leave the house, I had to bring one or all of them with me.
Yeah.
And I kind of resented strong, but let's use resent. Do you know what I mean? I don't resent my mother. She was very unwell and she didn't get the proper help.
Yeah. And you wanted that freedom and independence.
Exactly. And I loved my brothers, but I was doing night feeds with them and my mum couldn't manage.
Yeah.
That was awful for her. But I didn't know that at the time. It's only now, as an adult, I look back and my mum was still alive and, but that kind of really informed me. I couldn't wait to get out. And there wasn't a huge emphasis put on education because there was a recession on in Ireland at the time. Everybody had to just get a bloody job and work.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go to college. I was very creative. I wanted to go to art college, maybe do fashion design. I was big into that. But I was like, go and work. Now, I had the portfolio done and I went to France after I left school. I wanted to just spread my wings a little bit. And I didn't come home for the college deadline. And when I did come home, I had to just work. It was a recession. I remember all the lads, my friends who'd gone to college, the girls, all in London. Everybody went to London. There was just no work in Dublin.
Yeah.
So the emphasis was work. And my dad's motto is basically shoulder to the wheel. Just keep working.
Head down.
Arse up, just keep going.
Yeah.
And no matter what crisis is, just get into work. So that really informed me. And I've always then been self-employed since then. I just kind of, in the early days, I worked for a couple of people. But then once I kind of copped on and became adult, let's say, I was working for myself.
Yeah. And so working for other people, though, and then transitioning to work for yourself, because I always find that interesting. I've said this on here loads. I never felt a difference because I always worked for other people like their businesses were mine.
Okay.
I always felt, I think it's because, like yourself, my parents had their own business, that I always knew you had to look after the business. So even when I was working for someone, it felt like mine.
It does a bit because you do, of course, take ownership and you have pride in your work, right? You love doing what you do and you do it because you love it. I mean, and for the money, obviously. But I loved working and I loved the jobs I had. So I had a real protective ownership over those. But I also felt, I could do that.
Yeah.
But I, sometimes to my own detriment, this is so bad. I feel I could do anything. I just don't know about it yet. I just feel if I put my mind to something and learn about it, then I can do it. Obviously, it's limitations. But I've always had that real positive, I just don't know about it, but if I learn about it, I can do it kind of thing.
No, I completely agree with you. So what was your first business?
I ended up, it was actually a brilliant business. I had a second-hand clothes shop in Dublin. It was the first one.
Yeah.
And I was doing second-hand designer clothes back when it didn't even exist. This is 32 years ago. Nobody did it. And I was like, it took a while for people to get used to it. But once they did it, they went, this is great.
Great idea.
So I did that for a while. And then, I had a bad relationship at the same time. And it was toxic. It ended up getting violent on his part. So I had to get out of that, which wasn't brilliant.
How did you get out?
Well, it was building. You see, I'm quite strong.
Yes.
Because I had 4 brothers and I'm well used to telling somebody to fuck off. But anyway, when I met him, I thought I loved him. That was fine. I probably did love him. I was very young. Coercive relationships don't start like that. Okay, it's a gradual thing. Mm-hmm. And it's a controlled thing. So because we're all potless and we'd no money, if I was going to work, he'd say, oh, do you know what? I'll collect you. You won't have to pay the bus fare. And I thought, oh, that's really nice. But really what was happening was I used to go for a few drinks on a Thursday after work. I couldn't go because he was collecting me. And I didn't know it. And all the girls were going, he's so nice to collect you.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, yeah. And it just, anyway, it became more and more toxic that way. Money.
They just draw you away from your
Exactly.
and you don't see it. Yeah.
Everybody thought he was amazing. Everybody thought he was amazing. And we had the same friends, whatever. Anyway, it ended up getting violent. Like he would get really angry if I didn't do exactly what he wanted to. So, which was very difficult for me because my parents are non-confrontational. My father's the most gentle man. Never raised a hand to me. Clattered the lads the odd time, but never, I was never raised with that. How I got away was I had built up the courage to say I'm out. And so that was good. But I was living not with my parents at the time. And I thought, if I'm going to go, he'd gone to work. I said, I have to go now. And I phoned my mum and dad. This is what my parents are like. Come and collect me now, please. On the landline, there was no mobiles.
Yeah.
No questions asked. They showed up. I had 2 black bags and I got into the car. They never asked me a single question, ever.
They trusted you.
Well, I think they knew. They must have. My mother must have sent something along what was happening. But the catalyst was that the night before I left, I had been dragged down the stairs by my hair. Wrecked my back all the way down. I'm a fit young woman and I was in bits and I just thought, I'll die if I stay here. That sounds very extreme. I have to be very careful because they're still walking around the planet. So my parents never asked me another question and that's how I got out. I just phoned them. I had a moment of bravery. I was in the house. I said, I have to get out now or I'm never getting out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the end of the business and I moved forward. And then I met my husband. I actually know my husband for years. We were friends for years. He's the love of my life. And we got together. We were friends, same friends group and everything.
Just same going out.
Yeah,
same
and our
friends.
grandfathers, believe it or not, were best friends.
That's mad. And when did it click? When did it go?
I kind of always fancied him, but he was a bold boy.
Okay.
He was very bold. He was kind of into nightclubs and like I was too, but he was running them.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And he was up for the crack or whatever. And I wasn't. I thought, you have a bit of, you need to spread your wings a bit. So we both lived a bit and then we came back together and we're just love each other so much. Still.
And how old were you when you got together?
Oh, Jesus, we were in our early 20s. Like, I think I was 24. Wow. I can't remember. We're married to 31.
Still very young.
Yeah. Well, life happened because I started school at 3.5.
Yes.
There was no preschool. This is the olden days. There was no, what's that called, transition year.
Yeah.
I had done my leaving cert and left school before, I was before 16.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So that was fully cooked, off you go. So I had a lot of living to do and I made so many mistakes.
But isn't that, I was the same. I left school at 16, just started working, made mistakes every day of the week.
I don't know how I survived. Sometimes, I took risks.
Yeah.
Because I was raised free, I guess.
Yes.
But I don't know if I'd be keen on if I had a daughter her doing, well, I didn't get too much, but you know what I mean?
Well, different, I always say to my girlfriends, if there was phones, I'd probably be in prison.
My best friend, Rachel, we're always saying to her, if I die, burn the phone.
Burn the phone. But different time. We were cheeky and we were getting away with murder.
Yeah, getting away with murder.
You wouldn't get away with nothing now.
No. But it was weird. Just certain things. So that was fairly instrumental in my sort of. It was a difficult time as well because everybody knew him and loved him, and I kind of decided, let him tell whatever story he wants to tell. I'm not saying, and I've never spoken about it really up until sort of the last 5 years. I've let him away. I have never named him. I wouldn't do that. It's not my style. But my husband knows the story, and my girlfriend knows the story, my best friend, and she knows him. But it was really difficult because it changed me as a person. Really, I was very free. It scared me to think about what could have happened. But then I'm very proud of myself for making the stand and getting away. It's not easy, And a lot of women have to make several attempts to get away before they actually get away.
Yeah.
Now, I had tried to go before, but it always coerced me back. And it's, it's very difficult when people around you saying, he's really nice. He's so lovely. And you're thinking, I know what he's really like.
Yeah. And then because initially he was nice and lovely.
Yeah.
It's hard to trust nice and lovely.
Yeah.
And it's lovely that your husband was your friend.
Yeah, no, I loved both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is hard because, and you don't want to be tainted like that, do you? Yeah, and I always say this, you're a strong woman, I'm a strong woman. We've both been in a similar situation. And I found it very difficult to tell people because everybody would go, how did that happen to her?
It's not about that. It's slow. It's not. It doesn't. You don't walk in and they're an arsehole. Because then obviously you wouldn't have gotten with them in the first place. It's this slow chipping away at you. Like you lose a bit of yourself, and then fear is possibly an element, and then also the gaslighting, which I didn't know that term until it became popular. But now looking back, I was completely gaslit. It was all of that. But it's hard because your brain plays tricks on you. Because the outside voices are saying he's so lovely, and your inside voice is going, but I'm actually afraid, and I've no freedom. I can't go out. Otherwise, if I would go out with the girls, which actually ended up stopping, he'd be waiting for me.
It wouldn't be worth it.
He'd be waiting for me outside the pub at the end of the night, and I'd be like, oh, you're so lucky you've got a lift. I didn't necessarily want to go home, or I'm able to get home.
Yes.
That sounds really small, okay? But it's actually really big.
Yeah, no, it's a smart move as well on their part. Do you know what I mean? Because it is that, well, I'm going to make this big gesture so that other people see this, but I know.
Yeah, it's curtailed. Exactly. And I'm trying to get away. I went to Cork with a friend of mine. She lived in Cork. I went to her to get away. And on the day I was going up, I hadn't said anything about how when I was going. He was in the train station waiting for me. Yeah. I don't even know how that happened.
Fruit Loop.
So all of that. So I was so happy to get away with that, get away from that. But it definitely informed me. And then from then, I met my husband, and that was it. We got on with our lives. We both then worked for ourselves, or we ended up working together for a while, and then individually we had businesses, but we're both entrepreneurs and just ran for it.
And tell me about some of those businesses. Like, which ones is there ones that I love that?
Okay, well, we set up myself and my family, actually, because my brother was in sport. Two of my brothers, the whole family's involved in sport. Yeah. My older brother at 12 had to go and live in America to pursue his career. So that was very hard for my mum, tying into what I told you about the postnatal depression. He left the day my little brother was born, actually. So we only saw him then and didn't see him. That was America in the olden days. You didn't come home. Yeah. You went and you came back in a year. He was there for 5 years. But we had to pay for that. So that was kind of always happening. So I had, myself and my husband, and my family set up a sports creche for children. It's still going today. It's usually, it's doing really well. But that was the first childcare facility in the country that specialised in sport and fitness and health for children.
Right, yeah.
That included grown veg, proper food, showing them how to food, kitchen chefs, and sport every day. Now, we had a lot of battles with the HSE because we didn't fit into a box. We still fight with them because we don't fit into a box, because they want everybody in a building, in a facility, and today you're doing colouring and tomorrow you're doing this, and it's a bit robotic, and I'm worried about the future of children because there's no independent thinking. And I think sport is key for people who want to have. Sorry, I know I'm rambling, but it's really, I'm really passionate. I'm really passionate about
sports and business is
huge.
Hand in hand.
Exactly.
Communication skills,
key.
Coordination.
Learning to lose, by the way.
Huh?
Learning to lose.
Yeah.
Playing a sport.
Yeah.
Huge skill set there for the kids.
Yeah.
So we were the first in the country. Then I opened up another one. I had my own children then at that stage. So I was like managing my kids, working full time. That was all great. Then I decided I wanted to pursue the interior design, which I kind of wanted to do art, as I said to you. So I went back and studied interior design at night and part-time with the kids, which was really hard. Did that. At the same time, there were no exam requirements when we opened our first creche. So I had to go and study. So I had to do all the degrees in the childcare as well. So I did all that at the same time as rearing kids and all of that. Then my husband opened up a construction company, which I helped him in, and he's still doing that today. So that's brilliant. And I also have written a couple of kids' books. So this was all my life going along, raising my kids. And then we had a tragedy a few years ago. My brother died by suicide.
Okay.
The middle kid. The nicest guy I've ever met.
Yeah.
He was definitely a middle boy because the others, he wasn't sporty. He was real kind of quiet, earthy, wanted to be in nature all the time. He'd be always out whittling sticks in the farm, or just, we'd be all lashing off hay bales and he'd be in the corner kind of making, he was just that way.
Thinker.
Where the rest of us, and like the others were always just either beating each other up or farting on each other. It was this kind of madness, lads. He was kind of, he'd get involved in that a little, but he was different. Anyway, he sadly died, and it just literally he'd struggled the last few years during COVID, and it was all shit. And honestly, it is a hand grenade into your life because we're a very bonded family. We all live within 5 miles of each other. My mum and dad are still alive. It's unrecoverable position for my parents. My mum now is frontal lobe dementia. She is fine, still, but cognitively she's declining. The shock for it was just too much for them. They loved us so much. And the shock for us.
Yeah.
I can't, he had 4 children. It is, and I'm not going to talk about I don't want to name his name because the kids are alive and I love them so much. But it literally throws a hand grenade into your life. So I stopped working. I physically couldn't work because at that stage, I'd actually sold my creche and I was working for a charity working with vulnerable young people. And they were very case sensitive and heavy issues. And I loved my job. But when he died, I hadn't the capacity.
Yeah.
I hadn't the capacity. I actually couldn't function. It took me a long time to recover because you're doing your normal life and next thing there's an absolute stop.
And you needed.
And my family needed my husband, who was all my brothers and my husband's brothers were very bonded as a family. We all know each other. They all play golf together. They're all great friends. My brother who died lived with us for a couple of years. He carried my husband drunk up over his shoulder the night before we got married. Like they were very close. So I was trying to be present for and my parents, my other brothers, and mind myself, and I lost myself. It was very hard for me. And then I decided to set up Lisa Vistas, my Instagram account, because I felt that I needed something. I thought I was going crazy.
Okay.
And I needed something. When I looked into the world of internet, there was nobody that looked like me or represented me. There was only gorgeous young women and they were buying really expensive creams. I thought, I'm so average. I just want to buy the average cream, do the average hair thing, eat the food, buy the clothes at Marks and Spencer or wherever I buy them, Dunn's, Pennies, whatever. But there was nobody doing that. And I was getting frustrated because I don't live that life where I have loads of money, I can buy everything. I mean, I'm not poor now. I've worked my whole life. But like I can afford stuff, but I can't afford that. You know what I mean? Normal. I like staying in on a Saturday night and having a little picky outboard, you know. But there was nobody doing that. And it was making me really frustrated because I felt really unseen. I also had hit the menopause.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else coming at me?
Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Like, and then of course we went to the doctor. Do you want antidepressants? No, thanks. That's what I was offered. No, thanks.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that is still happening as well. And, I have a lovely doctor, but the doctor just does what I tell them to do.
Yeah, and I have a lovely doctor now. She's great. She's female. She completely gets me. But I had seen what the antidepressants had done to my mother. She'd been taking them for 40 years. And I thought, no, thanks. I didn't want them anyway. And if you take them, good for you. And if it helps you, and do whatever makes you happy, okay? Yeah. And there's absolutely no shade here, and just do whatever gets you through the day. I'm fully on for that. It didn't suit me. So that's when my business kind of ground to a halt and I wasn't working. And I very quickly realised with the death of my brother, I had way too much time on my hands. And my mind, I don't like that much time. I need to work. I need to be busy. So that's when I set up Lisa's Vistas.
Okay.
And the podcast was brewing in my back of my mind.
Yeah. And it's mad because I'm just laughing because we were chatting before we came on. We have the same jacket.
But I only have one colour.
I know. I've written all the colours. I actually have the white one as well. I actually have 4 colours. I just need to swap jackets. But for you, I suppose that's an outlet. I know it was an outlet for me.
Yeah.
I used Snapchat back in the day just to get shit off my chest, and I loved that it didn't stay there very long. And I remember when Instagram started actually, and I remember lots of people on Snapchat were like, people moving over to Instagram, and I was like, I don't think I can let go of Snapchat and move to Instagram, obviously. And I was the same. I couldn't find anybody that I felt was just normal.
Yeah.
And I remember a conversation in the hairdressers one day actually, and someone was saying, no, if you're going to do it well, you just have to have a little bit more than people have, something for them to reach for. And I thought,
no.
Do you know what? Yeah, I thought, well, a load of bollocks.
What a load of bollocks.
And I still think that.
Yeah.
And I actually think it will become more apparent that the more that we go into this AI world that we're about to go in, I don't even know what's real anymore when I'm looking at it. So I really need raw reality. I crave it on a daily basis.
Same.
So it's great to be able to do that.
Yeah, but it's terrifying as well, by the way. And I've had, not many now, in fairness, everybody's so lovely at my account. It's just love, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'll be there on my bad days going, I feel like shit today. But I know what to do. I'm going to get out for a walk. I'm going to eat properly. I'm going to get into the fresh air. That's what works for me. And everybody will find their thing. But I've had messages going, I can't believe it. Would you not be mortified? These are the kind of messages you get because people are used to seeing the super edited, perfect lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'm so amazing. And look, you should be amazing too if you did what I do. That's really hard when you're not feeling great.
Yes. No, and it's not real, and we can't all be like that all the time. It's
you
just
can slip into thinking they've got it and I haven't. What am I doing wrong? It can be quite a negative thing. Like when I was in that really bad headspace after my brother, I was thinking, it's me now. I am shit.
I always think as well, if you can't, I truly believe if you can see it, you can be it.
Yeah.
So if you don't see it, then it might not have any value.
Yeah.
And that's where I think social can be really dangerous. So I think we need to see more of real shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't watch anybody that's shiny. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I don't either. But the thing is, I think too, and I'm seeing somebody who's been really real, I can totally relate.
Yeah.
Totally relate. You know, like following you with your kitchen, like just normal day stuff. That's fun because it actually distracts me from the shit I'm dealing with. So I like that. And then you think, oh, well, actually, my bucket of shit's not as bad as hers, so that's okay. Or we're all the same. You know, it makes you just feel really normal.
Yes, and it makes you feel like you belong.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, we are human and we want to belong.
Exactly.
That's mad. And so, I mean, I obviously I've had a good, little snoop. I love to follow you now because obviously we're both doing a renovation. I never thought I'd be interested in homeware, but I am.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? Because I'm still actually not. It still doesn't float my boat, but I have to do it. And people always say to me, "Did you buy that dress?" And I don't buy the dress. It's called a try-on because I tried it on.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it. But I love that element of, I can try this on for you. I can, because it's that giving piece again.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And having fun.
Exactly. That's what I just feel. I just feel it's so important. I love women as well.
Yes.
I love talking to women. I just love women. They're so amazing. And we're the matriarchs of society. And honestly, we are the mothers of, like we owe it to the younger women coming up behind us as well to sort of say, look, stop trying to be the shiny new thing. Be yourself. Because there's nothing more glorious than a woman who steps into herself and goes, this is me. Take it or leave it. This is it. And I've really stepped into that since menopause because I was going through the shit show before that because everything that happened and it affected us for a couple of years afterwards, well, it affected you forever.
Yeah.
But I'm over the menopause now. Well, I'm still taking the HRT. I'm going to take that forever. But it's so emancipating because I just feel, well, this is me. If you don't like it, tough shit.
It is.
I'm not changing.
This episode is brought to you by Skin Formulas, an Irish skincare brand created by skin experts and trusted by thousands of customers and skin clinics. Built on science, results, and a deep understanding for skin health, Skin Formulas is designed to help you feel confident in your skin. If you want to know more, then go to www.skinformulas.ie. It's funny for people around you, though, I always say, like I actually recently did Enneagram, which is like a personality thing.
Okay.
And I'm a social empath. And the girl that did the I don't know, she does like a summary report, went to me, you must be exhausted. And I said, I am exhausted. She said, because you can be an empath, you can be a social empath, you can be a restricted, there's lots of different things. But constantly I'm just like, that would be good fun. Oh yes, let's try that. Let's do that. And I can see that in you, the different businesses. And I suppose, we're learning now and I'm the same as you. I feel like I'm coming out the other side. And actually, I've always had honesty Tourette's. But apparently that's supposed to be something that happens in your 50s. I always had it. But now people think it's normal. I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing.
Okay. There's so much, the personality test, that sounds like great crack.
Yeah.
Like it's just that I'm not telling you to fuck off, but like I'm just like, well, this is what I'm doing. Like if you don't like me, that's okay. And it's don't like me, but that's fine. Just move out of my life. And if you don't like what you're looking at, then don't follow me. I'm just completely who I am, and I'm not going to be. I can't pretend. I haven't the brain space to pretend to be somebody else. It's either this is who I am. But honestly, I think when you're speaking to other women, and to be honest, you've a large following. Neither of us have huge followings. We've substantial followings. You have to be careful too, because you have to be yourself. Because you cannot be pretending to be somebody else and people are listening to what you're saying and taking it as truth. So you can only tell your truth. That's how I see it.
Yeah, you can't fake it.
You cannot.
And actually, do you know what? I teach a lot of business women about networking. I always say it's the same online as it is offline.
Yeah.
I said something about some houses that have gone up in our local area that I think are awful the other day. And my husband said, I don't think you should put that up. You might know someone that bought one. And I went, but I would say it in the coffee shop, babes.
Yes.
I would say, if you stop me, if somebody said, what's your opinion? I'd say, oh, it's awful. I can't pretend to be something.
No.
Because, and do you know what? I watch other people attempting to do that and people see through that.
Do they?
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
do
definitely.
You? I think so.
Yeah, well, especially, most people that I spend my time with are, women that are perimenopausal, menopausal, just because, that's where I'm at. So most of my people that I do, like Sunday socials and, groups of women that I get together are normally 35, 40 plus, We're too smart not to see through that.
I love that though.
Yeah, I
love that because I just think it's really important, particularly as we have voices and there's women listening to us. It's important that we're authentic and true to ourselves, and that comes out, I think.
Yeah.
And I want to hear that from other people.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where I was with that. Now, honestly, I don't bullshit them either. If I'm having a bad day, I just come out and say, it's not great.
Yeah.
Really struggling today.
And so for you now, for business,
yeah.
Like where is it going for you? Do you see?
I wrote a children's book and I did publish it, but it was published a couple of weeks before my brother died, and now I have it's a fabulous book. And I have a series I've only written and published one, and I have a series of 10 written, but I haven't published them. I really want to do that. I have a huge wealth of knowledge with children and childcare. Even though I wanted to do fashion and design, I ended up, because I wanted to be with my children and I loved that education piece. I've spent most of my working life working with young people. And I'd love to pursue that. I just have a bad connection with it now because it was such a horrible time. I'm trying to work through that. So ideally, do you want to hear my world domination plan?
Go on.
Okay, world domination plan, the book. Okay, that's going to happen. It's called Millie and Mo. So Millie and Mo are going to happen, hopefully. And then I'm going to take Braz.
Take away that hopefully. Thanks.
Yeah, take it.
It's going to happen.
That's going to happen. It has happened. I've just shelved it.
We're just going to continue it. So what do we need to do for that to happen?
I just need to. I'm still very raw.
Yeah.
My brother's not dead that long. It's only been 5 years, which seems like a long time. It's not. And the first 2 years you're going, what the fuck just happened? That's what you're literally going
Does it need another book in the series?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Does it need, rather than going straight into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, does it need 1.1 and 2? Sometimes we need to fit something in to make it feel
I think I'll have to do it. I think I'll just have to put on my big girl pants and do it.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. So that's the Millie Mo is going to happen.
Lovely.
Okay.
When is that going to happen?
I'm not sure, because the first thing that's going to happen, I'm doing my podcast now and there's been a great reception to that. Braz Off and Breathe, and that's doing really well. So I'm actually going to take that on the road.
Oh, lovely.
Because
you can't beat a live pod. I love them.
Well, actually, it's a girls' night out as
lovely.
Well. Because my husband always worked in events years ago. And we've done a lot of charity stuff for cancer research. We've run big fashion shows and we've run big, huge live events with bands and stuff because we're into that. And we love raising money for charity. It's just what we do. We're not that altruistic, but we like doing that kind of thing. Just particularly as a couple of our friends died through suicide and cancer and stuff. And you want to give back.
Absolutely.
So take Braz Off and Breathe on the road.
Lovely.
My son's a sound engineer and a muso, so that's brilliant.
Easy.
And my husband, all my brothers-in-law are musicians. Brilliant. So it's just, I'm in that loop, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm definitely going to do that. And that is where I'm going to put my energies at the moment. And I'm going to drag Millie Mo with me.
Okay.
In the back of my mind. But to make money, this is a business, right? I want to take it on the road, and it's going to be a great girls' night out. Come and get a free glass of champagne.
When is the first one going to be?
Well, I'm still just trying to get my head around the business plan of it.
Okay.
But it's happening. I'm putting it into the universe that it's happening.
Do you know what I would say? Don't overthink it.
No.
Book the hotel.
I never overthink anything.
Tonight, just book a hotel and actually work backwards.
Yeah, that's a great way of doing it.
Because once the date is in, then all it is actions.
Exactly.
The goal at the end, this is exciting.
And it's so funny because I am the worst. I don't think about the worst case scenario.
Oh, no.
I just always think, but what could happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's how you run a business, right? Yeah, if you didn't think like that, you'd never get it off the ground.
Yeah,
never. Like I remember just giving birth to my son, my third son, and my husband had started his biggest project that day. Like he was tearing down this huge, and he went, right then, we can't start overthinking.
Yeah, no.
Get out the door and do it, Yeah. You have to.
I always say to women, there's no lack of ability, there's only lack of belief.
Exactly.
And I'm always like, what are you waiting for? Because everybody says things like, well, when I get, back
No.
When I get this done, Sean, then I'm going to start. When I do this, and I'm like, no, start.
Yeah.
And then work it backwards.
Yeah.
Just start.
Exactly.
That's
financially as well, I have to be mindful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I have to pay for it.
Yeah, but you've got everybody's in your family.
I know, but I can't, I'd have to rent the room. And so financially, I don't want to burden my husband, and because I'm not working, I'm not bringing in a salary now. I haven't worked since my brother passed.
Yes.
I mean, I'm doing a bit on Instagram, but yourself, you're not making money, you're just tipping away.
Okay, well, I'll tell you how to do it off screen.
Okay, fine. But I think, well, you see, the thing is, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to go to that night.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And there's lots of those nights going on around the country.
Exactly.
They're always lovely.
Yeah.
And it's like depending on the whatever format you choose to do. But it is fantastic.
Yeah. So that's my world domination plan.
Brilliant.
And then when I have that up and running, I'm gonna revisit the book. I have such an emotional connection with it now because it was literally a couple of days later.
1.1 in there. I think you need to slide one book in before you take it to 2, and because there's something to be said in that book before you finish the series.
Yeah,
I really would, and it would be a beautiful, honourable piece to your brother. To that book can be his.
Yeah, I'll start crying, but it's just I'm so linked to it emotionally because of the timing.
Oh no, absolutely, I completely understand.
We're still heartbroken. Like you never recover. It's not recoverable. You live around the grief, but I just want to start crying about it because I'm living joyfully and I am, but I just miss him every minute.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Honestly,
because we're so bonded.
I couldn't bear.
Yeah, we're so bonded, and it feels like even you say their names, and it's like my 4 brothers. Oh no, it's 3 brothers. It's just, and when we're together, when I'm with my brothers, it's wrong.
Yes.
It's right, so right. I love being with them, but it's wrong. We're not the group. He was such a dynamic part, even though he felt out of the loop. He was such a huge part of the loop.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a real sadness about that, and the sadness about his passing and all that. But I have now completely linked the book with that time. So it's very hard for me to just
But I think it's fine to link the book with that. I really do. But that's why I think there might be the next book isn't necessarily the one that you originally wrote.
Yeah.
It might be slightly different in honour of him, to bring some joy to that time.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really hard, isn't it, when you've gone through that grief trauma bit. You know, I recently actually, and I was on my socials talking about this, you know, I've gone through a lot of trauma in the CUH in Cork City, and I went in to meet a gynae and I got very upset because actually I didn't realise how much trauma I'd left in that room. But I needed to go back again, and I needed to go back in and do something positive. So I went back to talk to them about why women shouldn't feel like that. It's changed the story of why I walk in those doors now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to do it. I will do it. I want to do it and I will do it. It's just such a hard time. I don't want to live in that space anymore.
But do you know what? There'll be lots of people listening to this who completely understand that. You know, grief, it comes in so many different forms. And most of it, you know, I really touch wood, somebody listening that hasn't been through grief, but it's changing the narrative. You'll never forget. And you'll never forget the pain. It will always make you want to cry. You know, friends ask me all the time about not having children. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I don't cry, but it always really hurts my heart to talk about it. So none of that changes, but I had to find something I could add on the top of that grief cake. I don't know if it's the icing or whatever it is, just to change my narrative a bit so that I could help others. And listen, you even talking about it today helps so many people. It's so important for us to talk
honestly about it, you know.
But I think there's something in that book, and I think there's something that needs to be done with it before you're ready to move on, and that could be a different episode.
Yeah.
And thinking about, I mean, when you described him to me, and you know, the thinker, the sitting, the creative, the taking time. There might be a character.
Yeah, because the book is about my family. The dog is actually one of my other brothers. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows that.
Well, he does.
No, he does know because it's the same name. He knows the same because I call the dog his name.
Okay.
This crazy, annoying
the dog.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I love it.
Oh no. Oh, listen, I have 4 brothers. You have to be tough.
4 sisters. I don't think that's
tough. No, the lads. No. You know, the lads are different. It's tough love. But no, I will.
Yeah.
I want to. It's been a journey. I hate that word, but it's
a long journey. It's never ending.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you're trying to move forward without leaving them behind, and there's the guilt associated with that. And also, by the way, this is not a pity party, but when somebody dies through suicide, there are so many questions.
Yeah.
No answers. You've no chance to say goodbye. You've no chance to do anything. And you beat yourself up for the first year going, what if? There's no what ifs, okay? And then you have to reconcile yourself with that, which is very, very difficult thing to do. It's not being able to say goodbye to somebody is so hard. And then you find out stuff afterwards, people say something to you and you find, did I know him as well? Or I didn't know that was happening, or maybe I should have, maybes. And you beat yourself up for a long
Yeah, you
time.
can't live on maybes.
You know what I mean? So it's just a difficult, and anybody been through it, and I'm not just talking about death by suicide, like grief is grief is grief.
Yeah.
People lose pets. You've gone through a horrendous time. Grief is grief. It's different sizes, but
Yes.
grief is grief. Loss is huge. And even a loss of a career, it's loss. Loss is painful.
Yeah.
I'm not diminishing any loss, obviously,
No, I don't think you sound like you are at all. Though.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's just like, I'm sure, in the last 5 years, you walked in here today, you are sunshine and light. She's got the most amazing pink outfit on. I was just like, oh my God, this woman, I want to be her. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, girl, if I'm not wearing black, I'm wearing pink. It's that simple. But I know, and we have to think like that. I know, my dad passed many years ago. I know he's proud of me every day.
Yeah.
And there's other, I believe in signs.
Yeah, me too.
I go on holiday with my sisters last year, and a white feather came down. You
do.
We've all got a robin.
Yeah.
And I'll be chatting to my sisters, and they all come at that time.
Yeah.
There's always signs, and
Yeah.
I think, it's such a difficult situation.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been through that, actually, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah. Well, I went to counselling. I got
Yes.
counselling. I was working with the HSC. Like, I got counselling through work and whatever like that. And that's great. But talk therapy doesn't work for everybody. It's helpful. But sometimes it's a multi-prong approach. I found talking to my siblings was really helpful because we lived it, and we know what we felt or whatever. My husband and my children, I talked to them about they lost their uncle and they were very close to him.
Yes.
And that was a different kind of grief. You're trying to help them manage theirs. And my husband's obviously. But that was helpful. But all of it is helpful, and I'm really strong, and like I'm getting on with my life. It's that kicker. It's just that kicker all the time. And look, we're going to lose our parents. Loss is inevitable.
Yes.
But the natural loss is not easier. Different, because you have a chance to say anything you wanted to say, hold their hand, tell them you loved them, kiss them goodbye. It's a slower passing, and you can reconcile it during the passing. When you're talking to somebody and then they're gone the next morning, you're like, and pause, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know I physically couldn't, and I don't even want to imagine it.
So it's just a difficult one,
Yeah, really difficult.
It is, and it's not the end of the world. You will build a life again, and we do. It is the end of the world for my parents.
Yes.
That's different. That's unimaginable.
I think, and I always say this about, when you lose someone, it is that weird thing of life goes on.
Yeah.
Like, I just always find I still find it bizarre. But it just does.
It just does. And in a way that's kind of helpful, because you feel good about smiling and all the usual, but like, it's nice then to see a kid out playing in a park, and it lifts your heart a tiny bit. That helps.
It's like at a funeral though, as soon as the kids come
more
in.
laughing. It's dreadful. I've laughed at so many funerals. It's dreadful.
But I love it.
It's so nice.
Because our funerals are a little bit different in the UK. We wait ages. If you lot are in, down, that's the end of it. Do you know what I mean? We could be waiting 6 weeks before we bury someone. But I always, people tend to go to the funeral, and then the kids come to the afters, and as soon as all the kids come in, everything changes.
Yeah, it does.
And then you realise life does go on.
It does go on.
And like you say, that's when you can celebrate. Celebrate the life. You can see what's coming next. And
but it's so weird because life guides you in a direction, right? I believe that. And out of the way my life constructed itself, 3 of my really best friends. My best friend, Rachel, she lost her boyfriend to suicide. My sister-in-law lost her brother to suicide. My next best friend, Leonie, lost her brother to suicide. We were all friends.
Wow.
Conformed together. How weird is that? Isn't that unbelievable?
That is.
Like, so it's a weird, I don't know if it's predetermined or how that even happened. I didn't seek them out. My sister-in-law married my brother. Like, that was a strangeness. Leonie, we were in school together. It's so strange. So these women are so strong and so important to me in my life. And they've been through exactly the same thing.
Isn't it amazing that you have each other?
Yeah, but it's mad.
I mean, it's crazy.
I remember sitting at my kitchen table the day, I can't remember the time, but let's say the day or the day after he died. The 3 of them were there. And I just looked at them and went, what the fuck? How did this happen?
Yeah.
How are you in my life? Isn't that, I just think it's insane.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I remember actually I used to work in a place and a few of the staff had all been through the same. And I used to think that was crazy. You know, we had a big amount of staff, but a lot of people, I mean, I'm talking 10% of the staff had lost people to suicide.
Really?
Yeah. It was
God,
horrendous.
the rate is high, but anyway, we won't keep
Yeah.
talking about it. But it just think, but they empower me, you know, they're amazing
Yes.
women and we all live our lives and we're great pals, we have a great laugh and we're always having fun. But it's amazing that my life has turned out that these women are around me, isn't it?
I bet no one will be messing with you for.
Well, I'm actually quite soft. People think I'm a real hard bitch, but I'm not. I'm actually very soft.
Yeah.
I grew up with lads and in a totally male-dominated environment, in a sports environment as well, farmers. I mean, come on, get your sleeves rolled up and get stuck in. But there is a real softness to me as well. But people, I can be a little bit, the problem with me is my mouth says things before my brain has thought about it.
I mean, I said this to a load of
people
women
take
the other
that
day.
wrong.
Yeah, school report. I wish Sean would think before she opened her mouth. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, same.
And actually, it just comes out. But you always know where you land with me.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? And I am soft as shit.
Same.
I cry at everything.
Same.
Can't watch Gladiators.
Same.
I cry when they fall down the elevator or whatever it is.
I'm watching puppies crying on I love the dogs as well. Like on the internet crying at other people's puppies.
I know.
And I have two myself.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I think that people never are sort of unsure of how they are with me because I'm completely straight.
Yeah.
Which I can't.
I think
really
it's a great trait.
I can't.
Don't ever change.
Yeah, and also if I decide not to speak, my face completely gives me away.
I know. Actually, I always say sometimes I've done a lot of pods, and I'm always like, do you think how many people watch on YouTube? Because sometimes my face might go, what? Now I'm making a face. So if you don't watch on YouTube, you should watch on YouTube. But yeah, exactly.
It is. I can't. My mouth just goes. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say anything in my face.
Actually, years ago, I used to work in David Lloyd gyms, and there'd be like 400 managers in there, managers of paper clips, God knows what department that was, but there was just too many managers around the table. But, people would say things sometimes, and I'd just be like, in my head, I'd be like, what are you? And my boss would go, can you stop making those faces? It's so obvious. So I just used to look at the ceiling. But I used to spend half of the meeting looking at the ceiling. I'd leave with a creak in my neck because I'm like, I'm so sorry, but surely that wasn't
like iro.
a real question. Like,
it's awful. And funnily enough, you said David Lloyd because I actually worked in the precursor to David Lloyd when it was Riverview.
So who owned the shop when you...
It was
John?
No, it was the Barron family owned it.
Yes.
Sean Barron was the father and he owned Pamela Scott's.
That's right.
And he owned...
They still do?
They still do, yeah. Fashion City out in City West. And they bought that ground and turned it to Riverview because one of their kids, Scotty, their son Scott,
Bowen,
was a tennis player.
That's right.
It wasn't the reason they built it, but they had a real keen interest in tennis.
But there was a guy that worked in the shop that used to do the rackets. And he took over the shop when the Barons sold it. I thought his name was John. Do you know what?
Could have been. Yeah, they're probably still. I can't remember who was stringing the rackets when I was running the shop there.
It was so lovely.
Everybody was lovely.
Oh no, I didn't fancy him. He was just so lovely.
Oh, lovely person.
Because when obviously we were a UK company coming in to take over an Irish company, we weren't very popular. Although they'd voted for us to come in, we weren't popular. But he was super kind to me, really kind to us because we kind of just landed off a plane on St Patrick's Day in 2000 and to take over the place. But I loved that place.
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too. I had worked for the Barron family for a long time.
Yeah.
I had worked out in Flare Line and in the shop, and I was a buyer, went to buying trips with Sean and that. And I know the family. I still know them. I actually met Richard a few weeks ago. One of his kids, I think, is playing tennis.
Okay.
So they're still involved, and my family's very heavily involved in tennis. So we cross paths a bit. They're very nice.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen Mikey or Sean. I don't even know how they are, what they're doing. But I love working over there.
Yeah, no,
it was a bit far for me though. I think that's why I stopped eventually because I was still out in Malahide.
Yes.
And it's a huge trek all the way across and driving and everything was a pain in the arse. But I loved it.
Well, when you came, we were chatting just before we went live and we're saying, I feel like we know each other.
Yeah.
I really do think that we cross paths. I meet people in Cork that I'm like, do you used to be a member of David Lloyd? Because I just managed the place. I was busy working. Lots of other people were making relationships with people. And I was just like, we need to get shit done.
But I just feel I know you. It's such a weird feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't. Well, maybe we met before.
Maybe this is because I'm so warm and lovely.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my God. Listen, I have to ask you a question from the book.
Sure.
So let's go to the last question. Yeah, absolutely. So what does it say? Oh, okay. This is a fun one.
Okay.
What is your guilty TV pleasure and why?
Oh God. Any shit TV, I'm your woman.
Oh, do you have a subscription?
No, don't. I love RuPaul's Drag Race. That's my favourite thing to watch. But that's not a guilty pleasure because I'm actually kind of annoyed that everybody likes it now because I liked it but nobody liked it. And I'm kind of like,
fun.
How dare you watch my programme?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gone to the live shows and I've dragged my friends.
Have you?
Oh yeah, I'm total into that. Love
so
that.
Drag
Bit of glab.
Any others?
Yeah, I like maths.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, like, come on.
It's so good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but the Australian one is the best one. No?
Do you not think? Well, yeah, it depends on the characters, obviously. You can get sucked in. I've just finished the UK one. I love that.
I actually want to do a podcast, a Hey You podcast, because I'm up to date, seriously now. So listen, Hey You, I think it's €6 a month. I would die without that channel. I don't watch any, I don't have Sky or anything.
Really? Oh,
I just
no.
have Hey You. I'm up to date with every Real Housewives.
Yeah, I stopped watching that because I was watching it and I thought, I just can't cope with it. It's too American for me.
To it. You must go back to it because they've all gone bonkers.
I loved the Vanderbilt ones.
Oh, yes.
Any crap, I'll watch it.
Oh, girl.
I love Love Island. Anything mush, I'll watch. The husband won't be in the room, is it?
He
looks
the same.
And you go, I'm not watching that shite. And he's gone.
I'd be 5 to 9. I have to go to bed now. And I'd be upstairs to watch my shit.
Oh. So I watch any of that brain dead telly. I am your woman.
Amazing.
But Drag Race is my absolute favourite. It's not really
that podcast. I'm getting you back on. Absolutely.
Please give me some homework.
Oh, it would be amazing. Amazing. Listen.
I'll write notes. Did you want to give me a question?
No.
Oh, I thought I had to put a question in the box.
Oh, you are going to leave a question.
Okay, great.
Yes, we don't let you leave without leaving a question, but we'd never tell people who the questions are from.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of think I know who left that because it was a TV question. But but yeah, you will leave one for whoever. And that's always the nice thing about it. But yeah, listen, I don't know what to say really, apart from thank you for spending time with me today. Absolutely loved that. I can't wait to see what happens. I am going to be watching and I know people will reach out after hearing your story today. I really hope those 2 things come to fruition. And if we can be of any help to get that book back on track, I think it will just take a little bit of time and there's just might be a different path that it takes.
Yeah, but you might come to one of my roadshows.
Oh, of course I will.
As a little guest sitting beside me.
I'd love to be a guest. That'd be great.
Yeah. We'd have to control our faces though.
Bagsy, I'm wearing the pink jacket. Amazing. Listen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So thanks for listening. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this pod, then please like and follow. And pop over to YouTube if you want to watch. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Sean Horn. And lastly, we have some amazing news. All of the BBell events are now on bbell.ie. So if you want to know more about our monthly events, our meetups, and our amazing, amazing retreats coming this September in Portugal, then do head over to the website and we'll see you there.